For centuries, this was a place of extreme wealth. But in 1911, the gates of Great Barr Hall closed on the elite for the last time. It was purchased by the West Bromwich Board of Guardians and transformed into a colony for mental defectives. The era of the Scott family was over. The era of St. Margaret's had begun. The scale of the colony. This wasn't just a hospital. It was an industrial warehouse for people society wanted to forget. At its peak, this estate housed over 1,300 patients. It was a self-sufficient village where the residents provided the labor. Men worked the 110-acre farm and workshops, while women were kept in the laundry and sewing rooms. They lived in a strict horseshoe of villas segregated by gender, separated by iron gates and Victorian prejudice. The morbid classification. The history here is stained by the terminology of the time. Patients weren't just ill. They were legally classified as idiots, imbeciles, or moral defectives. Many were children abandoned by workhouses or born to mothers who had nowhere else to go. One of the most haunting facts about St. Margaret's is that many of the children brought here in 1912 were actually of normal intellect. But once they were inside the system, they were often trapped for life. The treatment and the tunnels. Treatment in the early days was focused on moral discipline. If you didn't work, you were restricted. Legend persists among locals of a network of tunnels running beneath the hall, used to move patients out of sight of the public. While the hospital finally closed in 1997, the shadows remain. Urban explorers often describe a feeling of being poked or pushed in the dark. Perhaps the restless echoes of those who spent decades behind these bars without ever committing a crime. The silent graveyard. Today, most of the hospital buildings have been bulldozed to make way for new homes. But the hall remains, a rotting skeleton of a system that eventually collapsed under its own weight. Thousands of lives started and ended on this ground, many in unmarked graves. Next time you drive past the Scott Arms, remember the 1,300 souls who once called this Gothic ruin their only home. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more dark history.